In Poland, there are basically three types of labor contracts. First and the most popular is umowa o pracę, which means, shortly speaking, labor agreement. In this agreement, you're giving the full legal rights for the employee. The employee can use all government support like maternity leave or sick leave. Also, this contract is necessary if someone wants to apply for a mortgage, because all of the banks will need it. Another one is umowa zlecenie, which means like delegation contract or something like this. In this contract, you will give less rights for the employee, and usually this type of contract is used for a short time. To give you an example, if you have a cleaner and it is working on 25% of the tenure, it's enough to give him umowa zlecenie, because he's not a full-time employee and you might change those types of people in your company frequently. This is a less formal agreement and easier to start and easier to end with. The last type of the contract is umowa o dzieło, which is something that can be weirdly called act agreement, because you employ a person for one specific act. For instance, if you want someone to design your logo, you would like to use this type of contract. If you want someone to go to your office and paint a wall with a very specific sign of your company, that would also be umowa o dzieło. This type of agreement is not having that much social contribution in terms of taxes. It's only having an income tax. From our experience, I know that for some Western customers or our customers overseas, it's difficult to understand our legal requirements. For us who are growing up in this society and who are taught on the studies and in practice how the civil law and how the labor law are constructed, we are used to that. We are used to understand the complexity, what can be done by the government and what you can't do because of some regulations. And believe me, there are a lot of them. Anyway, this is just a fact and I'm not judging it. This is good or bad, because in the US or in Norway, for instance, it's far more simpler. But doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing business in Poland. You should, but you always have to find the proper advice. To give you an example, one of our American customers was lately surprised that he has to sign an agreement for the new employment, and this agreement had 10 pages. For the other side, our German customer, which is our neighbor, is quite used to that, so he wasn't surprised at all. In this sense, those contracts may seem to be very difficult at the first sight, but if you work with them on the daily basis, like we do for instance, it's fairly easy and you will also get used to that. And if you feel confused or anything that I said was unclear, feel free to ask. I will do my best to help you. And also, obviously, if you need an accountant, BA Gruppen is at your service.